And I would hope in our State Department and in Whitehall that no matter how we may differ on strategy towards Iran, the attempted assassination of European or American parliamentarians or diplomats, even on our own shores, should unite us. It is a crime in Europe, as if it were to happen here, that cannot go unanswered. There's a tendency, I know, to think that now the world has another competing problem. The fighting in Gaza, followed by the war in Ukraine, the difficulties with the arming of North Korea, the civil war in Yemen. But today, at least in this room and among us, we can see that there is a common thread. There is no resolution in the problem of Palestine. There is no likely scenario to a two-state solution that can end this long impasse and this terrible decades-long struggle, any more than there's likely a resolution in Ukraine without dealing with the problem of the regime in Tehran. Indeed, I would argue that it is likely that we would never be in this situation in the Middle East. The Oslo Accords might have succeeded. We might have reached a two-state solution if not a single international player saw its interest that the conflict continue and used its proxies in Hezbollah and later in Hamas to prolong the conflict. And of course, that's exactly what is now happening in the Ukraine, with Iran becoming the principal supplier of weaponry as the Russian stockpiles have been depleted. And so for those who have maintained in our State Department, as I would argue in Whitehall, the belief that time will cure the Iranian problem, somehow they'll come around, somehow the regime will evolve, somehow this will all end. Perhaps now, seeing these multitude of problems and this common thread coming from the regime in Tehran is recognizing there is no resolution. We're not going to find an easy path to resolve any of these problems until we deal squarely and honestly with the problem in Tehran. And that means strengthening, not lessening our resolve. It means sanctions not only being implemented, but fully enforced. It means the designations of terrorist organizations honestly and fully with all consequences. And mostly it means embracing an Iranian opposition. Maybe not alone, but there is an opposition. The MEK is an opposition. Mrs. Rajavi leads an opposition. The 10-point plan is an opposition. It has not hundreds, but thousands of supporters, not simply in the UK or in America, but around the globe. But they need to be embraced and supported. They have the will, they have got the organization, they have the resources, they've shown their willingness and the ability to fight.